my name is Jenna and today I am going to be doing a movie review of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I saw this film on opening night when it came out in Australia and oh my goodness, it is amazing. So to put this into context for you, my dad is like the biggest Star Wars fan ever pretty much, and he was there. He keeps saying he was there when it began because he was there for A New Hope. He was there, he saw A New Hope come out and watched in cinemas, that sort of stuff. Rogue One is his third favorite Star Wars film of all time. Like, it was that good. It skyrocketed up to be one of his favorite films, and I love that. I think that that's amazing because it just shows how good this film actually was. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, so don't worry if you haven't yet seen the film, you won't be spoiled. You can stay for the duration of this video, but I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do go out and see the film at some point because it is just that incredible. So if you don't know, this film is about the rebels. How can I explain this? Okay, so this film takes place directly before A New Hope, and it is about the rebels that get the plans for the Death Star that beam them up onto Princess Leia's ship, and that is sort of what the film's about. So in this film, we meet those rebels. So we meet Jenna, so Cassian Andor, Bodhi, not sure of his last name, Chirrut Maz? I think his name's Maz or Maz, something like that, and K2. K2 has my heart, honestly. He is just... K2 is a robot for context, but he has my heart. He was just so good. He was so funny. But also Cassian has my heart as well. I loved Cassian so much. So in regards to the storyline, this film was incredible. So obviously this is a piece of Star Wars history that we all knew happened because we heard about it and we saw it in A New Hope, but we didn't know the full story. And so to get the backstory and to really see these characters and to see how this all came about was incredible. And it helped to solve some plot points that people have been sort of discussing and theorizing about for years and decades, pretty much since A New Hope first came out. And now of course we have our answers to that, or at least we have a canonical answer to that, which makes me really, really happy. So the storyline itself was very simple. It was literally just these characters getting the plans, but the way they got there and the way that it happened and how these characters came together was just incredible. It was so good to watch. It was, I don't want to use the word fun in this video because this movie was not fun. This movie was emotional and raw, and I think that's one of the things that I love the most about it is that it was just so raw. So Disney actually marketed this film as a war film, which I think they did very, very well because basically, if we want to think about it in relative terms, this film is about the little people. So when you watch Star Wars and you see that it's Luke and Leia and Han's story, basically, this story is about the rebels behind that. So this story is about the rebels that you see always getting killed off, those sorts of rebels. These are the rebels that this is about, and I love that. I love seeing behind the curtain little people sort of stories. I think that it is fantastic and it made for a really compelling story. So next up, of course, we want to talk about the characters. So the first character I want to talk about is Jyn Erso herself. She is the main character in this film, and can I just say, I'm loving the fact that Disney and Star Wars keep coming out with female-led films. Like, that makes me so happy that these films have been female-led. Like, yes. So Jyn is, I don't even know how you can describe Jyn, but she was a great character. I think the one thing that I didn't like the most about this film would have been the fact that we didn't spend a whole lot of time with these characters, so it was really hard to sort of fall in love with them and to find exactly how we felt about them. But in the short time that I did know Jyn, I fell in love with her. I thought she was fantastic. She was such a good rebel, such a good leader, and to see where she came from, to see her backstory all the way up until the end of the film was just really great, I guess would be a good word for that. I don't really know how else to describe it. Then of course we get Cassian, who is a rebel completely. I don't really know how to describe any of these characters really without giving too much away, obviously, because I don't really want to. Basically, Jyn has been in Imperial prisons all her life, basically. She's not really belonging to the rebels, but she doesn't really like the Empire either, so she's kind of in this odd in-between sort of moment. Cassian is a rebel and he is seen to do basically anything that he has to do in order to fight the rebel cause. He pretty much follows orders without question, which is something really interesting. And I'm just finding out Bodhi's last name because I really want to know. Bodhi Rook. So Bodhi is an Imperial pilot that has defected, and he is sort of the one who is trying to find Saw Gerrera? Oh my god, I cannot say that name to save the... So basically, yeah, so he has defected and he's now trying to help. And I think that's a really interesting story, one that we sort of got to see a little bit of with Finn in episode 7, but to see it with Bodhi was really nice as well. And we had Chirrut, who was one with the Force and the Force was with him, which was awesome. So he is blind, which was funny. So he's blind. Well, it wasn't funny for him to be blind, but he had some funny moments because of that. Just watch the movie, you'll understand. So basically, he is very strong with the Force. He doesn't have the Force, he's not a Jedi or anything, but he still believes in the Force very much. So he's definitely not into the Empire sort of way of thinking when it comes to the Force. So I really loved that about him. And his mate was not Mars or Maze or whatever the hell I called him. It was Baze. You can see how I got confused. And basically, you didn't really get to know a lot about this guy. All you knew is that he was very close to Chirrut and the two of them would never have been separated. Because like I said, we have K2SO, who is the robot of the group. So he was an Imperial robot that has been reprogrammed, and he has a sense of humor, and he's hilarious, and he's got some of the best lines in the entire film. He's what made the film funny, and that's one of the things I love about Star Wars films, is that they always have this element of humor about them, which makes them so much fun. Then the other characters we have in this film, we don't have a lot. We have Saul Guerrera, cannot for the life of me say his name, but basically he raised Jin and this sort of stuff. We have Galen Erso, Jin's father. We have Awesome Krennic, who is the bad guy basically, and then of course we have some cameos in it that I'm not going to say because a lot of the cameos were surprises, so I don't want to ruin anything for anyone. And of course we did see Darth Vader in this film as well, which is something that we knew was coming and I think worked really, really well. Basically, all in all, I gave this film a 5 out of 5 stars because I loved it so much. It had the essence of Star Wars, it had everything that you could possibly want. It was a perfect war film, which I loved. It really showed the grittiness of war, it showed what war really is, and I think that while that was heartbreaking, I mean heartbreaking to watch, I also wasn't surprised. So I Dad and I sort of went into the film going, this is sort of how it's gonna end because it can't end any other way. And so when it did end that way, we weren't disappointed that it was a little bit predictable. We were really satisfied with the ending. I mean, I know that I was really satisfied with it. I thought it was perfect because it, for me, couldn't have ended any other way. Thank you for watching my Rogue One movie review. Let me know in the comment section below whether or not you have seen the film and what you thought. I would love to know. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Stay random. Bye.